Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech. Welcome back to another episode of Caffeine Crypto, where I welcome you to join me for very caffeinated beverage of choice, coffee, energy drink, tea, whatever. If you don't like caffeine, grab some water as we go over this week's crypto news. You can see right now, Bitcoin's at 69.8K, Ethereum's over 2,000, BNB over 600. We got XRP almost near $1.50, Solana up 5%, around 87, just below $90. And a few other coins in the deep green, especially Zcash. If we look down here, Zcash doing pretty well, climbing back up towards 300, up 16%. So some of the altcoins feeling the love after losing significantly. I mean, Zcash is down from like almost 700. ECC team left. We did a video about that on the channel. If you haven't checked that out, go do so, please. And a few of the altcoins feeling some of the goodness, but yeah, man, still a long way to go. Come later on this year, a few of the crypto experts are saying that altcoins will not reach their previous all-time high. That was it. We'll have to wait and see how things go. Everybody's an expert these days, so they're all giving you the trade analysis and expertise or information and making bets with your money. So I would say always, try to learn yourself and read the charts yourself before you go and play, with your money and waste it away. And stop leverage trading if you don't know how to leverage trade, because you just keep getting liquidated and bringing down the market even further. A lot of liquidations over the past month. It is absolutely ridiculous. Looking at the Bitcoin chart on the daily, you can see, right? So this red line over here was a legacy line that I had, and we needed to stay above that, is what I was saying, in order to continue the path that I was hoping to go on. But that was back in November of 2025, right? Fell below it. You could see we basically touched it. I wouldn't say discounts, but 1, 2, 3, 4, rejected, down. Now the blue lines that I have going across here is something I posted on X, is some legacy resistance turned support, and some legacy support turned resistance. As you can see here, basically on February 1st and that last day of January, the 31st, we fell, we touched it. It was hoping to be supported, right? Trying to stay above 76K. Touched it, trying to stay above there. Touched it, fourth time, boom, we fell right through it. Then we started testing this 73, 72, high 72K range. Blasted right through that, fell again the following day on February 5th. And then we fell straight through the other two support sections I was hoping to keep. 7,800, about that, or 68,000. Fell right down, touched all the way down to 62. So if you got a short or a long here set up at 62, you guys did good, even if you are playing the ranges. But the following day we went below it. It looked like we were going to go lower. Like, that 55K, that 58K was definitely within range. But we came back up, blasted through the first, support that went and turned resistance, but hit the second wall, and we couldn't get past that. And now you can see it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here we go, falling down again. We didn't go all the way back down to 62K. We are bouncing back up. We're in between right now, that 68 and 70K-ish arena, but you can see that we're being rejected again. So we got two options here, ladies and gentlemen. Either we break out and get into this next section between 70K and 72, 73, or we're going to stay in this tight window, bouncing between 70 and 68, as we have been, as you've seen this past week, right? And we're going to get rejected again, going down and truly testing 62. If we fall below that 62, we're looking at a 50K, 52K Bitcoin. I know that's not what people want to hear, but people are broke, and a lot of the market both Asia and US have been selling the out of Bitcoin. Not sure if they're recalibrating, reallocating, whatever it might be, but there's been a lot of sells going on. And don't forget that the miners need to sell in order to cover their overhead, especially as they adjust their mining operations, because either they didn't budget for this price of Bitcoin in the future at their electric rates, or vice versa, whatever it might be. BBT did an excellent expose on what a mining operation looks like and how they're moving forward with this current environment. I would urge you to check it out. Follow him on X. Matter of fact, I would love to get him in a call in the future. Make sure you go and let him know on X or wherever. Yeah, pretty much on X or on YouTube, to hit up Serpent. I'd love to catch him and get him on a show one day. We'll have to catch up with him, see how things are going. But yeah, we need to push up. Otherwise, this bear market, it's going to be like the Groundhog Day. Is winter going to be extended, or are we going to go ahead and move forward and start, rebounding forward or rebounding up? On to the news. As I'm going to do with every live stream, I usually just go blast through the news. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please at me in the live chat wherever you are. I should see it on X, Twitch, or YouTube. Or send a super chat if you have the money to do so. Please do not do so if you are tight on money and you need to pay your bills. Focus on what you need to do. But Bitcoin claws back 70K on cooling inflation after 8.7 billion wipeout. Despite the price recovery, the crypto fear and greed index remains extreme fear. Matter of fact, let's go check that out real quick. It certainly is. It was at 8 for much of this week. It's now at 11. So a mild improvement. Bitcoin has clawed back to 70K, recovering from the sharp drop to near 60K. The cryptocurrency is nearly 5%, up nearly 5% in 24-hour period, while the broader CoinDesk 20 index rose 6.2%, obviously due to some of those altcoins. The rebound comes as investors react to cooler than expected U.S. inflation print and signs of renewed risk appetite. The consumer price index for January rose 2.4% year over year, just below the forecasted 2.5%. That gave markets a reason to believe interest rate cuts could arrive sooner than expected, lifting both stock and cryptocurrency. Because it wasn't just Bitcoin. It was other stocks that were taking it, especially tech stocks, right? Your Teslas, your Nvidias, your AMDs, and many more. I think the commodities were doing really well, or I might have the wrong title there. It might not be commodities, but there were some other assets that were in the S&P 500 that are allowing the S&P 500 to continue to, stay steady while the rest of the tech sector has fallen, even though that makes a large percentage of a lot of people's portfolios, by the way. I do want to say that. The tech sector makes up a lot of people's 401ks, right? Because investment firms reallocated to that because they were doing so damn good, especially with the AI bubble. Now I'm seeing a shift, and I'm not a financial expert. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a shift towards foreign markets on 401ks, Roth IRAs, stuff like that. Now, I would consult your local professional, your tax investor, or not your tax investor, but your local investor, whoever's managing your money. But I'm just saying that's the shift that I'm seeing. And is that it's been going on since end of 2024 to 2025, that foreign stocks or foreign investments have grown significantly, but are they they're at a high right now for you to reallocate. At this time, there's a risk here that, it's basically hitting the top and it's going to fall, and then things are going to shift back towards Western stocks or whatever it might be. But we'll have to see how things pan out. That's completely different from crypto, which is what this channel focuses on. But it's just something I wanted to call out and say out loud. Whether or not you take any action on that and talk to an expert and correct me, feel free to come back and correct me in the comments. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, okay? But lower interest rates make risk assets more attractive as the rate of return on risk-free or low-risk investments lowers. Traders on prediction markets are currently weighing about 26% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. And by the way, I do want to say we've been seeing a lot of prediction markets, right? I've seen it on crypto.com, Kraken, I think it's Kraken, and many others. Binance, PancakeSwap. There's so many ways to gamble these days, and it is just that. It's gambling. You could call it investments if you want, but it's really gambling, right? You're gambling on the fact that XYZ is going to be at a price of ABC by such and such date. Because that's become so popular and is so readily available, I'm concerned that the young or the uneducated are going to continue to get wrecked. So please use caution. If your young ones are like my children's age, young adults, please educate them properly. They feel like they got money. They feel like they're invincible. They can do whatever they want. And they start doing the stupid shit and leverage trading or betting on prediction markets, and then they lose their money. Please educate them as best you can and try to guide their hand. On Polymarket, the odds rose from 13 to 12%, talking about the 25 basis rate cut in April. So the chances that we might get a rate cut is climbing for April. Still, the rally masked deeper fractures beneath the surface. The crypto fear and greed index continues to reflect deep anxiety, hovering around extreme fear levels last seen since the 2022 bear market over the collapse of FTX. The index has been sitting in extreme fear since the beginning of the month. Bitwise analysts noted that 8.7 billion in Bitcoin losses were realized last week, second only to the fallout from the Three Arrows Capital collapse. Nevertheless, the rotation of supply from weaker hands to conviction investors have historically been associated with the market stabilization phase, though such redistribution requires time to fully unfold. So you have the fearful liquidating their crypto at a loss, right? Or maybe some of them are OGs and are taking profits because they missed the opportunity to take it at 125. They feel like Bitcoin's going to go down to 50 and they're going to buy back down at 50, hoping that day comes, but maybe it doesn't come, and then they're SOL. But you have the strong conviction holders that are steadily accumulating Bitcoin or dollar cost averaging Bitcoin or accumulating big chunks of Bitcoin or institutions buying. So Bitcoin is still being gobbled up to a degree. I wouldn't say as it was before, obviously, because price keeps going down. The sell pressure is definitely higher, and the bears are in full strength. But you're shaking out the weak hands is basically what people are calling it or saying, as we've seen many times. This is not new to the OGs in the space. These cycles, these bottoms, these tops, and we just keep on hammering away. I will say that I have not DCA'd heavily into Bitcoin as of recently. As a matter of fact, I needed to do some stuff to, pay bills or to knock out stuff or to just go enjoy life like I did last week with Sick Week. Hence the reason we didn't do a show where I did use crypto to help fund XYZ trip or whatever. If you don't live your life and you're just going to sit here and hodl till you die, then what's the benefit of that? I definitely would recommend taking profits when you can. If it's, obviously compared to your original position, you're not taking profits if you're buying at 100,000 and selling at 69. But if you can't take profits and go enjoy a trip that you meant to take your wife or your boyfriend or your husband or daughters or kids, whatever, on, go do it. Go live your life. Don't sit here watching the charts 24/7, freaking out about what's going to happen next. The 8.7 billion in realized losses last week could be seen as textbook capitulation, yet the extreme fear gripping the market poses a challenge, and Bitwise research analyst Danny Nielsen told CoinDesk the market main driver right now is fear that will go lower, fear that will fall to 58, 55, 50,000. The fear has seen investors take any coming rally as a chance to sell. Whether that will keep on materializing or the shift to higher conviction holders will see the market change directions remains to be seen. And going back to that fear, right? Every time we were pumping up, even months ago, right? Even months ago, any chance we had to try to reclaim the previous all-time high, right, of 125K, there was fear, right? Oh, I missed my chance. All right, we're going up, 114, sell. Back down. Oh, we're going up, 110, sell, back down. Oh, we're going up, 105, sell, all the way down to 83K. Damn, I missed my chance. All right, next time, I promise. Every time we went up, 94, a little bit of a sell, 94, a little bit of a sell, 94, a little bit of a sell. Kind of like a cup not a cup and handle, but it's not sharp enough. But, you know, back up to 94, sell again. Back up to 97, sell again. And then here we go. So, you know, fear is the main driver right now, not only for retail, but for institutions. And I don't even think retail is doing a lot right now, because I don't think retail has the fucking money. Excuse my language, YouTube. I like, I don't know about you guys, but much of the U.S., maybe it's just because I live in the hood, we fucking broke, bro. And what I mean by broke is, like, yeah, I can do stuff, but the only reason I can do stuff is because of my legacy investments into crypto or other stocks way back in the day that I have to file my taxes, whether that's through tax loss harvesting or whatever allocation or adjustments that I did at the end of the year. That's none of your damn business. I'm just saying that, like, I am not, my head's above water, but I am not below the water, right? Like, I am just level. Every dollar that comes into my checking account, especially now that, you know, I had to insure a family member, even though they're an adult, because their job doesn't give it to them, you know, that just takes more money out of my check. So now every single dollar is accounted for. There is no extra income unless, you know, I miraculously hit a Bitcoin block, which I hope one of you do. And by the way, we got news about that. Or, you know, hit the lotto, or I get a significant raise this year, something. And I pray that I get a significant raise, because my company, I'm destroying my team and workload, and yet I'm making less than some of them. I don't understand it, but, you know, it's whatever. Moving on, MicroStrategy accounted for 97.5%. And by the way, the point of that saying is, like, a majority of people are broke, so they are not putting money that they need for bills or XYZ into crypto, into stocks, into whatever investment it might be. MicroStrategy accounted for 97.5% of corporate Bitcoin buying last month, reports show. Of course. Now, I bet you they're hoping their 21-month allocation to be able to pay dividends and stuff like that is going to hold them up until the next rally. But they're basically betting on what? 12, that's 24. They're basically waiting on 2027 that Bitcoin would possibly be at a new all-time high, if not higher, that will save their ass from, you know, their decision making. We'll see if that pans out. I mean, it most certainly could be an extreme bull market. I remember people were calling for a $200,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025. We hit 125K, yes, but we didn't get 150 to 200,000. And while people said 2026, when we didn't hit in 2025, now everybody's readjusting their vision or their expectations. All right, I don't see anything in the live chat trying to get my attention. Everybody's just listening. Good, cool. Case Rocker, Retro Mike, Automatic Beat, Squirrel Masters, Sam Fisher, appreciate you stopping by. Crypto Bedell, thank you guys. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, so yeah, I mean, most of my viewers watch this video after the fact, so that's why I usually just get straight into the news and start talking about the environment that we're in. And also, I think Retro Mike can relate to it. Retro Mike, if you're still here, is the environment has become very toxic. The crypto environment has become very toxic, and it is not rewarding anymore for the coders that are coding on their free time for the benefit of blockchain, the miners that are mining at a loss for the benefit of the blockchain, and the enthusiasts who are doing everything for free for various crypto products because they believe in the team, the convictions, whatever. It is not rewarding for anybody. If you are a good person trying to just help a project out, trying to take free time to help XYZ company out because you believe in what they're doing in the blockchain space, you're not going to get rewarded. You're going to get abused. You're going to get as much free work as they can out of you, and then they're going to throw you away. And then the community, if you say one thing that they don't agree with, forget it. Forget it. You're going to be number one enemy, and you're going to get shitted on all day long. It's not. We spend most of our time on social media condemning and bitching and complaining than we do praising, thanking, and lifting up one another. So the point is that the crypto environment is not advantageous for growth from the people that we need. The coders that, again, do it on their free time. The miners that, again, do it at a loss regardless of profit, not spec mining, but just because they believe. And the promoters who do it not do it because they love the project, not with a check. January saw Strategy acquire 40,000 more Bitcoin, ending the month with a staggering 712,647 BTC on its balance sheet. According to the report, the purchase represented 93% of the gross public company buying and 97.5% of net additions after sales, single-handedly restoring sector-wide accumulate levels last observed late summer. I mean, why wouldn't you want to acquire at these levels? This may not be the low, right? Like the 62 is the low right now. Could we fall lower? Yeah, but like if you're buying a bunch of Bitcoin at this level and Bitcoin hits 200,000 by 2028, you're looking pretty damn good. So if you have the money, great. But I hope you're able to pay your investors their dividends or whatever it might be, or when they hit whatever target they need to hit, you know, you're able to pay them back if they want to withdraw or take out their stocks or convert it, whatever it might be. You better have that money ready to go, Michael Saylor. And I'm sure he will. But you're hinging your entire company upon Bitcoin success. And there's a lot of fear about Bitcoin. And renewed fear, or not renewed fear, but a growing fear of the quantum threat to Bitcoin. Even though I said in my video, it's not that big of a concern, at least right now. And work is being done towards it. So we'll see. Maybe some Asia firm got talked to by a bunch of tech bros and we're told like, hey man, quantum is the way. They're going to fuck up Bitcoin. You might as well get out of it and get into my coin. You know, because a lot of people like to pitch their coin is better than Bitcoin, which we have an article here that says that one coin is going to overtake Bitcoin. We'll see about that. But either way, yeah, MicroStrategy continue to buy as a summary. Why can't I close out of this? I hate that. Bitcoin's next move hinges on macro shift as inflation eases, says analysts. So ProCap chairman Anthony Pompliano predicted Bitcoin would benefit from a monetary slingshot as the Federal Reserve prints money to combat deflation. Speaking on Fox Business, of course, Pompliano said Bitcoin's value proposition remains intact long term, but investors must hold through periods when deflation masks currency debasement. Bitcoin fell 50% from 126 to 70K, blah, blah, blah. Pompliano framed this as a test for Bitcoin holders. Can you hold an asset when there's not high inflation in your face on a day-to-day basis? Can you still believe that in what Bitcoin's value proposition is, which is its finite supply asset? Analysts urge investors who liked it at 126,000, you should love it at 60,000. So basically, Pomp's saying that there's going to be a monetary slingshot. You know, money printer go burr, Bitcoin's going to rise. Right, as they continue to devalue the U.S. dollar, hopefully people would wake up and realize that, you know, with Bitcoin's finite supply, it is the stronger option as your dollar continues to lose value. If you're just sitting on a large cash depot, you know, with $100,000 underneath your bed, expecting it to help you retire in 20 years, and that dollar keeps devaluing, what you can buy with that dollar is going to continue to go down, as if, or compared to Bitcoin, if you had that same 100,000 or invested that same 100,000 over time, according to Pompliano at least, you know, it's going to be the stronger play to do. If they print money, Bitcoin is going higher over the long run. Is basically the summary of what Pomp is saying. So we're stabilized right now, but we'll see how things go. Coinbase surges as something on crypto market bottom. So basically, the stock for Coinbase Global Inc. ripped almost 20% higher, more than double the average trading volume just a day after posting weak results, a sign that investors had already braced for the worst. So like investors are saying through their actions that was the bottom. That 62K was the bottom. I would just say be careful. Nope, I lost some of you in the stream. I'm not sure if that's due to an ad popping up. I didn't see a thing. But yeah, Coinbase stock rises. Analyst puts Bitcoin price ultimately market bottom near 55K. That's the same thing that we've talked about before. I mean, for us to fall to 55K, let's see what that looks like real quick on the chart. A fall from 55K from where we are at right now would be only, if I did that right, I right-clicked, my bad. A 20% drop. Which again is in the realm of possible. It would suck if it did. But if it did, my question to you is, would you have the money available to go ahead and get some of that back? You know, to buy some more Bitcoin. CryptoQuant is warning that the real bear market floor could still could sit closer to 55K. That is lower than many bulls want to admit. If the data is right, the market still has some pain and process before a proper structural base forms. Weak hands may not be fully flushed, and until the final reset happens, calling the ultimate bottom might be a bit premature. CryptoQuant says we are still in a normal bear phase, not the extreme panic zone that usually marks once a cycle buying opportunities. In their view, bottoms are not single candles. They are long, messy processes that take time to build. Meanwhile, price action keeps slipping. ETF outflows are stacking up. Bitcoin loses 66K as traders nervous. But according to data, we still have not seen the kind of pain that typically resets the markets. So, I mean, we've kind of been at this for a minute. When was that? October? How many days is that? I mean, yeah, it's only 130 days. Okay. Where was 2022 at? So we went from there. And then we started climbing up there. 572 days. That was a very long time. Very long time. Basically, March 2022, we started to fall. October 2023, we started to climb up. So yeah, I mean, we could, but we also could be right in like in this section right here. Right? How many days was that? 74 days. We'll see. I mean, like I said, we could fall. Where we're at right now, we might hit this legacy line, keeping us above 62K. But we could also start pushing up. And even if we did, we're not going to break off to 125K instantly. That shit's a lot. Too many people are taking profits and will continue to take profits or sell the moment Bitcoin starts to climb into new territory again because they're nervous, they're scared. Investor confidence is shit right now, whether it's in crypto or traditional stocks. It's shit. So we'll have to see how things pan out. What is this? The MVRV ratio. Bitcoin price USD. Yeah, Bitcoin price USD and then MVRV ratio. What are you saying here? The MVRV ratio has not dropped into extreme undervalue zone that usually shows up at cycle lows. The NUPL metric also has not hit the deep realized loss levels that typically mark capitulation. So basically they're saying that we haven't bottomed out yet and that we could hit 55K. We'll see. We'll see. Again, that's just another person on the internet telling us, yes, CryptoQuant and the people, some of those people are pretty good at what they do, but you know, just use caution. You know, don't say, you know, same people that I say don't get in the charts and just sit there and look at it all day. And I know that's some people's actual jobs, day trading, but If you sit in the charts all day and you're not a day trader, you're just going to get nervous and trade with emotion. Same thing with news. If you sit there and watch the news all the time and you're listening to one financial expert or one media group or whatever, and they're warning that, you know, Bitcoin's going to fall, Bitcoin's going to fall, Bitcoin's going to fall, you're going to get emotional and you're just going to pull your Bitcoin out. So use multiple sources, use multiple data sets, try to aggregate it, build a complete picture, and then kind of go from there. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase is more bullish than ever as company navigates the latest crypto downturn. They say that we've been through some cycles like this many times at Coinbase, and adoption continues to grow. Regulatory clarity on the horizon, and I am more bullish than ever. Their comments came after Coinbase reported its second worst quarterly net loss ever, $667 million, due to a $718 million paper loss. And its crypto investment portfolio, excluding swings in crypto holdings, Coinbase reported adjusted EBITDA of $566 million and a 56% drop compared to the prior year, and $89 million below Wall Street's forecast. Coinbase net value tallied $1.7 billion, down to $487 million from the same period a year ago. There are opportunities in the market, whether it's up and down. Armstrong added, noted the company has benefited from previous crypto downturns. Again, you could trade both ways. You could trade the downs, the bear markets, you could trade the bull markets. We now have 12 products doing over $100 million in annualized revenue. You know, I think one of them is, what did I say? The other thing that I just said. Oh my God, what was it called? Prediction markets. All right, prediction markets, the Web3 wallet. Yeah, they figured out ways to continue to get revenue, and yeah, they're doing fine, and they're just being bullish on crypto. We'll see how things go. True Social pushes into crypto ETFs with BTC, ETH, and Crow exposure. They filed a registration statement with the U.S. SEC for a 2-digit asset exchange-traded fund tied to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Kronos, and adding staking rewards to the equation. The proposed product are the True Social Kronos Yield Maximizer ETF, the True Social Bitcoin and Ether ETF. According to the filing, both funds are subject to SEC review and are not yet effective, meaning shares cannot be sold until approval is granted. The Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF is designed to seek results corresponding to the combined performance of Bitcoin and Ether plus staking rewards associated with ETH. The allocation, interesting. So they're doing a Bitcoin and Ether ETF where it's going to be combined performance of both. Now, usually when Bitcoin drops, Ethereum drops. And usually when Bitcoin climbs, Ethereum might not climb with it. So I wonder how that's going to work out. Maybe they're betting that Ethereum's going to take off, even if Bitcoin kind of levels off. Or maybe they're just betting that Ethereum has the most upside. You know, honestly, guys, personally, and by the way, Red Panda Mine is going to be going live here in about 26 minutes, 25 minutes. Hang tight. I will redirect you. But I've been talking to some of the old friends in the space, and we think Ethereum's like, it's not on life support, but we don't think it's going to grow to what it is. I mean, even Vitalik is saying that he doesn't even understand or agree with the path that it's taking. They should have stayed proof of work, man. They should have stayed proof of work. We tried to save them. Bitsby tripping. Provided a BIP, a Bitcoin improvement proposal. We had multiple meetings with them. We tried talking into extending the time frame. Yes, we would know you want to move to proof of stake. We recommend this, you know, stay in proof of work for an extended period of time, blah, blah, blah. Try to talk them out of it. I know that was the original roadmap, but I don't know if that was a good move. We'll see. I don't know. You guys should talk about being cooked. Who's cooked? Mer's cooked. Crypto is cooked. Automatic Beats is cooked. Everybody's cooked. And then you got Crow or Kronos, right? The Kronos Yield Maximizer ETFs from True Social. which aims to capture both the price performance and staking income. In short, it's not just a price action, it's the price action with the yield kicker. I wonder how that's going to work. Both ETFs will be advised by Yorkville American Equities and are expected to carry a management fee of 0.95% according to the registration materials. 1% is about right. True Social Funds is partnering with Crypto.com. Of course they are, which is expected to serve as a digital asset custodian, liquidity provider, and staking service provider, subject to regulatory approval. We'll see. The filings build on earlier crypto ETF proposals tied to True Social parent Trump Media Group or Media and Technology Group, which faced delays in 2025. The latest structure leans in staking, an area where regulators show caution, especially for funds holding assets beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's something we're going to see how, this would be a good test to see how the government proceeds with an ETF that also is using staking to kind of adjust their ticker. I want to see how that goes. Valentine's Day warning. By the way, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day. If you don't have a loved one, girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, I hope you have a good day wherever you are and enjoy some of that good time friendship. Don't know about booty calls, but that's up to you. But I hope you have a great Valentine's Day. Make sure you give your husband or your girlfriend or your wife a big old hug from Uncle Serp. I appreciate you. But right now, be warned. U.S. attorneys issue crypto-fueled romance scam alert. The Department of Justice issued a crypto warning on Valentine's Day hits. Real-world losses are escalating. Crypto scam activity surged in 2025. The U.S. federal prosecutors are warning that Americans not to let Valentine's Day turn into a costly heartbreak as romance scammers increasingly demand payment in cryptocurrency, right? So these are where people catfish you, get you to like them, get you to talk to them, get you to reveal details and personal information. You build this rapport with them online through Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever it might be. And they're like, oh, I got this really great idea. Oh, I got this buddy. They're really good. They made $100,000 in a month. If you send me $200, I can help you out and give you the money back. Like, they get you to start feeding them money or put money into a crypto account. That money's gone. They disappear. You've been catfished. You're left with a broken heart and no money. This is not new, but just saying that romantic scams seem to climb when it's that time of year, when Cupid's out there shooting you in the ass. So be careful. The U.S. Attorney Office for North District of Ohio on Thursday urged the public to remain vigilant against online crypto romance scams that exploit victims' trust and emotions. Now, don't just think it's the elderly or that guy sitting in his grandma's basement playing WoW all day. That's not the only people that get scammed. Some people just want an emotional connection, and these online scammers give them that for a time and then rip it out. And then now you have somebody whose heart's broken, who's already been closeted, who already didn't want to open, who already didn't want to talk to anybody, now even more shelled in their environment. And that could lead to bad things. And if you have some of those mental issues, I urge you to please, please, please seek help. Know that you're not alone and feel free to, reach out, right? I offer that to a number of the community via DM. I don't post your shit publicly. But if you just need somebody to talk to, we're here for you. Reach out to your community members. Not everybody in the community is a good guy, though. Most of them... All right. Yeah, the world's an asshole. I understand. I understand. I see why people kind of close off. 100%. But there are some good ones out there. And when you find a good one, hang on to them. Keep in touch. Communicate. And all will be well. Moving on to some altcoins. Zcash and HBAR lead altcoin recovery as market turns green. The broader crypto market is finally flashing green after days of pressure, and a capital rotation is already visible beneath the surface. While Bitcoin stabilized and Ethereum regains short-term structure, selective altcoins are accelerating at a much faster pace. Today, Zcash and Hedera, or HBAR, leading the recovery, posting double-digit gains and drawing renewed trader attention. It's merely a relief rally in sync with Bitcoin's bounce, or are token-specific catalysts adding fuel to the move? Now, Zcash was already headed down. Then the ECC team left. It brought it down further. Then they released some new wallet or something. Some new thing. I forgot what it was. Brought some attention back. But I wouldn't say that this bounce that they're having is strictly based upon the new release or whatever, right? Again, they've fallen quite a bit from not their original all-time highs, but their recent all-time highs. And, you know, maybe it's just people wanting to get privacy coins, moving their assets to privacy coins because they want to protect their privacy. Zcash is a good asset for that. Maybe people are getting an H-bar because they're speculating that H-bar is going to continue. I don't know. You know who might have that information? I think AJ, who used to work for BitBoy, I'm not sure. He's a real big H-bar guy. Does some pretty good content on it. I think Wendy O. Also, as far as Zcash, I don't see a lot of people talking about Zcash like we did back in the day. You know, I've talked about Zcash in the past, and I even came out with a recent video about it regarding the ECC drop. But I've always been a fan of the OGs, the OG tokens, right? You can see here, at least on this chart, this chart's only from 2019, but it's really an OG in the space. And you can see, if you go to the OG chart, it made an all-time high. I think like 1,000 plus $1,200 something like that. I could be wrong. Don't mark. It's not. Don't mark me down. I'm just saying. I know there was a higher all-time high compared to what you see here on the chart. You know, back here in 2021, you know, only hit 317. Long bear market. And if you think about it, if you would have bought around September, August of 2025 at $35, and you sold. All right, like say you bought, like think about that for a second. That's probably why it dipped so hard. But let's say your average cost is $35. You have $1,000. That's 28.57 Zcash minus some fees. So let's say 28.5. And then as Zcash was climbing up, right? Because it did have a sustained climb. It wasn't just a bloop bloop, straight up, straight down. You know, it hit a high of 752. Let's say that you missed that and you sold at, you know, 660, right? So what did I say? 28.5 times 660. You turned $1,000 into 18 grand. That's not bad. That's not bad. Not saying that you did that. I'm just saying, like, if you would, because Zcash has always been around. Like, I'm not going to lie. I sold my Zcash over time because I was mining it, right? Before it became an ASIC only asset. You know, sold in 2021. Sold a little bit in at the, you know, like mid 2021, end of 2021. And then I think I sold when we were bought the rest of it at, like when we were bottoming out at like $83 or something like that. But as it gained hype, people started buying the old machines. Those machine prices went up. People started to buy into Zcash only to get wrecked. Every single time. Every single time everybody's late to the party, they buy at the top and then we all get wrecked. It happens all the time. So now your only chance is to hold long term. Well, we didn't retrace fully back to the bottom. We did fall about below the halfway mark. You can see right here the halfway mark would have been 312, right? Because that would have been support. That would have been resistance. That would have been support. So we touched it multiple times. That would have been support. So that's forward right there. So 312 is about where I would like for the asset to go. And now we got to get back to that. So you can see Zcash is climbing. We got to get back to that. But it's doing awfully well. Let's look at H-bar real quick. Okay, maybe Kraken wasn't the best option. Let's go to Mexi. Wait. So many freaking charts. No. All right, let's just use Coinbase. All right, so 10, it's at 10 cents. Yeah, see again. January 2025, popping off 40 cents. Will it ever get to its all-time high? That's a significant climb to do. But it could be. Let's see. Usually there's some news over here on the right. Let's see if there's... No news. Okay. 9 hours ago. Yeah, it's just leading the recovery. But it doesn't talk about what the recovery is. Total value lock. Downtrend resumes critical resistance. All-time high coming. February 9th. I don't know. There's got to be something. Or maybe people are just flocking. Their appetite for altcoins is just growing back. I don't know. Let's see here. News. Yeah, why is the price rising? Let's see here. Despite the strong surge, key higher time frame resistance, keeping the risk of rejection in play. The next few sessions will be critical, blah, blah, blah. Open interest and funding rates support long sentiment. Zcash derivative data shows a notable shift in positioning. The funding rate remains slightly negative to neutral, suggesting long positions are not overcrowded and traders are not aggressively paying to stay long. At the same time, open interest has rebounded sharply to around 230 million after a steady decline through late January. This combination typically signals fresh positions entering the market without excessive bullish leverage. For traders, there's often a healthier structure than rally driven by extreme positive funding. If the ZEC price is rising alongside this open interest expansion, it indicates new capital is supporting the move rather than just shorting the short to cover. However, rising OL, open interest, also increased volatility risk. If the price stalls near resistance, liquidation could trigger sharp swings. Sustained upside would depend on spot volume, confirming derivatives-driven momentum. Zcash is attempting a technical recovery on the daily chart after defending its rising 200-day SMA, blah, blah, blah. The price, so I don't see, like, it's not like some drastic new technology is coming out or something like that. But the fact that that open interest is climbing, what about this? My theory, okay? Just me spitballing here. Grayscale had filed an SEC to convert its existing Grayscale Zcash trust into a spot Zcash ETF, aiming to provide regulated exposure to ZEC. Interesting. I'm the reason I'm looking at this is because I'm wondering if there's progress being made. All Zcash ETF filings. Yeah, it's just Grayscale, but they're just converting. There was already an ETF. They're just converting. All right, so let's look for Hedera. Several firms have filed for HBAR ETFs, like Canary Capital, Grayscale. But it hasn't been accepted. So maybe this could be a good play. Again, only if you have money. You might not have money. To bet that maybe there's something happening in the back end that we're not aware of that's causing Zcash and Hedera to grow because there's a possible insider trader going on where they believe that the ETFs are going to go through. That's a risk. That's a huge risk. Don't do it. I'm just speculating, and I'm not a financial expert. But maybe somebody sees something we don't. FedEx joins the Hedera Council. That's pretty positive news. Both Zcash and HBAR are benefiting from a bottom market crypto recovery, but the magnitude of the gain suggests selective capital rotation into tokens with either technical breakout setups or credible fundamental triggers. All right. I said it out loud. I don't know. If I had the money, maybe I would, but I don't have the money, so I'm not going to. I wouldn't. You do you. I'm just pure speculating right now. But there's something that they see that we don't. I mean, Hedera, the project's always been working with some pretty good groups, corporations, stuff like that. But yeah. So they're saying it's a breakout. It's only 12 cents from 10 cents. And what are they saying Zcash? So $300. Where's Zcash at right now? 284. So they're suspecting $300. See, it's already down from 16% uplift to 10% uplift. So we'll see. Moving on, XRP set to dethrone Bitcoin within 6 years, says Entrepreneur. This is the one I said that I doubt. Yeah, right. Zcash GPU mining, says Retro Mike. Bring them back. Them good old days with Nvidia 10 series, lining up ZEC. Yeah, that was some good stuff. Ethereum mining back in the day. Zcash mining back in the day. Script mining, which, by the way, there are script miners out there. What is it? CC miner? CG miner? BFG miner? Which, by the way, Retro Mike, do you have the BFG miner? The OG one? Because I would like to put it, like, there's some of these newer script coins that come out that I would like to put a GPU or two on just to see how it does. I think I could use CC miner. Some of them work, some of them don't. But, yeah. What's up, Northern Crypto and Tech? We're getting ready for Red Panda mining here in about 7 minutes. I don't think XRP is going to dethrone Bitcoin. I mean, that's just exuberance to me. But what do you think? If Bitcoin doesn't break 150K this year and reclaim its 12-year trend line, it's going to retest $1,000? Either way it goes, XRP would take the #1 spot within 6 years after Bitcoin will be regulated to nostalgia collectible for those of the internet. What the are you talking about? What the fuck? No, Patrick, shut the fuck up. And was that dude for Anonymous? Satoshi's backed by Epstein? Shut the fuck up, bro. Satoshi Nakamoto would hate Epstein. Have nothing to, he would hack Epstein. He would absolutely destroy Epstein. Don't fucking put those two in a goddamn sentence. That's bullshit. Shut the fuck up, bro. You're talking out the side of your fucking face, dude. You got no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Wow, dude. Just fucking spitting nonsense, dude. This is what the world's come to? Fucking you just say whatever you want. In order to make it true, if you just say it out loud and you repeat it multiple times or yell it at people, shut the fuck up. No. I mean, XRP has a place within the banking sector, within the blockchain, within the crypto community. I just don't like it. Now, just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't like Patrick. But I don't like what he just said about Bitcoin going to $1,000 and Satoshi backed by Epstein. So, respectfully, shut the fuck up. Moving on. The protocol. Vitalik Buterin stark warning about Layer 2 roadmap. Buterin said the original roll-up centric roadmap, which positioned Layer 2s as the primary way Ethereum would scale, no longer makes sense. Should have stayed proof of work. That roadmap envisioned Layer 2s as a secure extension of Ethereum that would handle most of the transactions while inheriting Ethereum's security guarantees, often described as branded shards of the network. According to Buterin, two developments have challenged the original vision of the Layer 2 networks. First, progress among Layer 2s towards later stages of decentralization have been slower and more difficult. Second, Ethereum is now scaling directly into Layer 1, with fees remaining low and gas limits expected to increase significantly. In this view, because Ethereum itself is scaling, Layer 2 networks are no longer required to function as an official extension of Ethereum. He also noted that many Layer 2s are not able or willing to meet the decentralized security standards required by the model that some Layer 2s may intentionally choose not to move beyond. Stage 1, including for regulatory reasons. Should have stayed proof of work. The roadmap. So Vitalik is saying the roadmap, which was positioned layer 2s as the primary way Ethereum would scale, no longer makes sense. Oh, by the way, congratulations. January 17th, 2026. Today's the 14th. Why does it say 17th? Somebody got a typo on here? Unless I'm reading in the future. What's going on here? That's so weird. What happened? Basically, one miner mined a block early Thursday and earned a 3.157 Bitcoin payout, while another solo miner earlier this week produced a similar reward around $295,000. I believe Red Panda Mining covered it and said that they weren't a small miner. I didn't look into both blocks that were hit. But you can see it's like unknown, right? It's not a pool, it's unknown. So maybe they were mining through their own node, right? You can mine through your Apollo, your FutureBit Apollo node, which, by the way, FutureBit's coming out with the Apollo 3. I would love to get my hands on one, but they're never going to give me any freebies. I always have to buy my shit, which is fine. You know, that's pretty much what we all do. I just know some other content creators with much more prestigious empire will be sent free units and stuff like that. But I always love FutureBit Apollos, right? You can always run your own Bitcoin node 100%. You can always mine through your own node. You don't need the FutureBit Apollo, but I just like it. I like the thought of it, the design of it, and the team behind it. But yeah, congratulations. 2 people hit the blocks this past week. So solo mining is not dead. You may never hit a Bitcoin block in your entire life, but there's still a very insignificant, small, very unlikely, infinitesimal chance that you could hit one. Just FYI. All right, let's see here. Red Panda Mining. Are you live yet? All right, let's go ahead and mute this site for now. We're going to stand by here, answer any questions that you might have as we move forward. But thank you so much. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. I'll send you over to Red Panda Mining. Don't leave yet. And by the way, if you guys could join a little bit earlier in this live stream, I would greatly appreciate it. You know, we talk about a lot of things. We go through some great news articles here, and your feedback, while I don't look at it until the end of the stream, well, honestly, there's not a lot of comments. Like, I could scroll up and see all the comments for the entire stream, but that's because I just blow through the news, right? I want to get this out for my future viewers that don't watch live to, you know, go over this week the state of crypto, what happened to Bitcoin, what MicroStrategy is doing, what Pompiano is saying, how Coinbase is doing better, you know, the bottom of the Bitcoin bear market. Like, I like to get this all out for you. So we had a great day today, talked about a lot of great things. I got a little bit exuberant there and said many curse words. Hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize me. I did say that this video is not meant for people under 18, but I appreciate you. So if you could come here a little bit earlier and stop by and watch and join us, I would greatly appreciate it. Sometimes I do become a little bit more interactive. I know if that's what you guys really want, you need to let me know. But I know some of you guys just come here to listen to me just go blast through the news, say a couple pieces, maybe provide my opinion, and then hear your opinion on the same time. But just communicate with me, right? On X, Discord. Don't forget members are in the Discord. My Discord is very, very quiet. No scammers as of yet because it's locked down. It is behind a paywall, but I like it quiet. You guys can post there, hit me up. I can see it. You can see mine. I don't want it to turn into like this raging, like freaking over 18, not safe for workspace where it's a bunch of scams and porn. Like, I wanted to keep it, specifically for the community. But I'm also on Red Panda. I'm also on Chump Change XD or Misfits. I'm everywhere. So if you got something to say, you want to educate me, you want to correct me, you want to do anything to help share knowledge with one another, feel free to hit me up on X, Discord, and whatnot. AI, I heard you too can hit a block. All right, Retro Mike, what is he saying? Will you take all track with all his faults and great insurance? She promised you what? Arm Candy at BTC Vegas. Yeah, so a lot of great events coming up. We got Mind Disrupt in South Florida in July. When is Bitcoin Vegas, guys? Let's look it up real quick. BTC Vegas. I'm sure I could get tickets to help me because I'm not a man with a lot of money. I'm sure I could get tickets. The problem is the cost of going out to Vegas. Not only flying there from Florida, but just getting a hotel or an Airbnb out there. That's almost a $1,200, $2,000 weekend, right? Because it wouldn't just be me. It'd be the wife would be like, "You're taking me, and I'm going to the casino." So gotta bring money for the wife, or she'll bring her own money because she's good like that. Don't get it twisted. She doesn't rely on me, and she'll beat your ass because she's a tough little white girl. But I don't know, man. So like Mind Disrupt, I could probably do for 400 or 500. But every time I go down there, I let my buddies stay with me, and there's no disrespect. It's fine. They just don't have the money to pay me back, and it's some of your colleagues, some of the people you know. And I'm just trying to help them out, but I'm at the point where I can't help people out and give them a place to stay and stuff like that. I don't have a link for you to use. We could try code SerpentX, but I don't think we have a code to provide. But yeah, maybe you could say at BTC conference, Serpent sent me or whatever. But yeah, so BTC Vegas, April, July, Mind Disrupt, and then I got some other stuff I want to go do, non-crypto related. But yeah, bring back, and we talked about that. I use CC Miner for testing script coins with my mining pool stuff. CG Miner, BFG Miner if you want to use Apollo Moon Lander 2. Right, okay. I was just wondering if you had the original files. I'll just continue to use CC Miner. Mer808, when you say you have been living under a rock the past few years, are you talking about the gentleman that said what he said? Or are you talking about me? Patrick or me? Please clarify. Kick him out of crypto church. You guys might be talking about Patrick. Okay, cool. Last week of April, blah, no conventions for me, blah, blah, blah. I got a pro pass for contributing to the BTC ecosystem. Amy got a press pass. Travel and hotels pricey, but decided to splurge on it. Gonna skip Disrupt. Yeah. Well, aren't you closer to Vegas than you are to over here? No, you're not. Never mind. You're closer to us than you are Vegas. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But Red Panda Mining is live. I hope you have yourselves a great day, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you consider getting subscribed and hit notification bell to stay up to date. To see what's going on. I know I've been pushing out a lot of automotive content. I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop with my automotive content. If you look at my channel, there's always been automotive content. Some of my first videos was automotive content because I bump into a problem that I don't see covered in great detail or good enough or without grainy footage. I record it and I share it with the automotive. The automotive guys can find it. The crypto guys won't see it unless you're subscribed and you get notified, and you can just skip it. I mean, it would be nice if you just watched it, liked, and left because you don't care. But most crypto guys are car guys. But not all car guys are crypto guys. I'm hoping to bring those two together. Anyways, I love tech. I love cars. I love crypto. I'm going to continue to bring you content. Yes, it's been mostly crypto in the past. Yes, it's been more automotive lately. Thank you for bearing with me. Hang tight. Keep jamming. This market will recover eventually. Dollar cost average. Talk to your local investor about the stuff that we talked about in today's video if you have any questions, because I am not a financial expert nor providing financial advice. But don't forget to go out there and enjoy life. If you need to sell a little bit to go ahead and pay bills or go to Vegas like Retro Mike to come join us at BTC Vegas, do it. Otherwise, I'll see you at any of the conventions I can afford to go to. Much appreciated. Sponsors are not sponsoring, but it's whatever. All right. Get out of here. Go hang out with Red. I'll talk to you later.